St. Peter's kids and teens. It's been so long since I've seen most of you, and I miss you so much. I've gotten so good at videotaping worship and prayer and talking to your parents that I wanted to have an opportunity to be with all of you and to talk directly to you because I've been thinking so much about you lately, especially as you end your school year and thinking that we've missed our children's Sabbath celebration and our rite of passage for our teenagers, and soon we'll miss our annual outdoor service and picnic, which I know is one of the highlights of the year for many of you. And so I've been thinking a lot about you, and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk with you. I know it's been a really tough time on all of us, and not being able to be together, and you having to do school from home, and I know it's been tough on your parents, and it's particularly tough right now in our country. It's a scary time for all of us. And I wanted to share something with you, maybe to bring you a little hope and encouragement in the midst of this time. As many of you may know, our country, in the midst of our country right now, are a lot of people that are suffering and struggling, not only from the pandemic, but from everything that's going on and resulting in the protests throughout our country, and the sense of some of us not being treated fairly and rightly and with equality. Some our friends, our neighbors, our family members, people of color. And so I wanted to share a book with you written by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. So he's a bishop in our church. And I actually used some of his words in my sermon on Sunday that many of your parents heard. But this is basically his idea about how we all belong to each other. And it's one of my absolute favorite books. It's called God's Dream. And it is a picture book, and you'll get to see the pictures in a minute, but I want to read you the words because I think, at least I know for me, they bring me hope in this time. And I hope they'll bring you hope and courage and comfort and strength as well. So, I'm going to now read this book. Dear child of God, what do you dream about in your loveliest of dreams? Do you dream about flying high or rainbows reaching across the sky? Do you dream about being free to do what your heart desires? Or about being treated like a full person, no matter how young you might be? Do you know what God dreams about? If you close your eyes and look with your heart, I am sure, dear child, that you will find out. God dreams about people sharing. God dreams about people caring. God dreams that we reach out and hold one another's hands and play one another's games and laugh with one another's hearts. But God does not force us to be friends or to love one another. Dear child of God, it does happen that we get angry and hurt one another. Soon we start to feel sad and so very alone. Sometimes we cry, and God cries with us. But when we say we're sorry and forgive one another, we wipe away our tears and God's tears 2. Each of us carries a piece of God's heart within us. And when we love one another, the pieces of God's heart are made whole. God dreams that every one of us will see that we are all brothers and sisters. Yes, even you and me. Even if we have different mommies and daddies or live on different far away lands. Even if we speak different languages or have different ways of talking to God. Even if we have different eyes or different skin. Even if you're taller and I am smaller. Even if your nose is little and mine is large. Dear child of God, do you know how to make God's dream come true? It is really quite easy. As easy as sharing, loving, caring. As easy as holding, playing, laughing. As easy as knowing we are family because we are all God's children. Will you help God's dream come true? Let me tell you a secret. God smiles like a rainbow when you do. I love this story. We each hold a piece of God's heart within us. And when we love one another, God's heart becomes full. God's heart becomes whole again. And I know that all of you share that joy and love and light and goodness in our world. And I have hope for our future because of you. And so I want you to know that in this time and until we see each other again, that just know that I am holding you and your parents and your grandparents and your friends and your neighbors and all of the whole world in my prayers. And that I love you all so much. And I can't wait to return among you and be with you and all of your families one day again soon. And then until that time, let us continue to love each other as God loves us and as Jesus loves us.